in Real Estate Radio. I'm your host, Shannon Register, and this weekend we are broadcasting from the 21st Annual Texas Home and Garden Show. Always a lot of fun to be out here on location talking with vendors here at the show, and also our agents are on location here from Register Real Estate Advisors talking with consumers who walk by. If you're not down at the show, if you didn't get to stop by the booth, you could always call us at 281-288-3500 and get your questions answered about real estate issues. And one of the things we like to do down at the home show is look at, what you're looking to upgrade in your home and making sure that you're not overbuilding your home, because you might be better off just purchasing another house. So this segment, we're talking with a pool builder, because you've got pool builders down here at the home show. So we are talking with Brett Hatfield of Downunda Pools. He's also one of our sponsors for the show, so we're excited to have you here.
We are. Thanks, Shannon. Yeah, hey, look, it's great to be here. I pulling into the parking lot here just a little while ago. It was filling up, and a lot of people heading down here for the show. So
absolutely, lots of fun.
Yeah, and a lot of really cool things to take a look at, and some great ideas.
So you're a pool builder, and that is something that a lot of people put in their backyard in Houston because of the weather and because it's so nice year round. You can really, the outside, your backyard is really another part of your living space for your home.
It really is, and you know what we say at Down Under is that it's pools for the mind, body, and soul. The outdoor area really has become more of an extension from your indoor living area. Mm-hmm. If you sit down and think about when you want to go on vacation, we don't sit down and think about being landlocked somewhere or in a high-rise building.
Right.
We always put ourselves on a beach
in the mountains,
or on a lake, or out in the middle of the lake, and it's the same thing. So when we seem to want to gravitate around water and we create a backyard environment, it's not all about the pool. The pool is an element of a total overall feel and an experience.
So how do you pick a pool builder?
You know what? Great question. There's a lot of misinformation out there, and it's very much
on that thing called the internet?
Yeah, really. It is buyer beware. So it's up to you, the consumer, to sit down and make sure you're doing your due diligence and doing the research and that you really need to do. Some things that I would suggest are really top of the list is make sure you get a copy of a valid insurance certificate. Mm-hmm. They have the correct insurance.
Yeah, because pool builders, are they licensed?
They're not. It's an interesting point. You know what?
Like
sadly,
a builder.
Texas is one of the states that do not require licensure and
roofers, pool builders, and home builders.
It's interesting, but you know what? The interesting thing is, Shannon, is that the guy that comes out and puts your irrigation system in and digs a 6-inch trench around your house and puts inch pipe in, he has to be licensed.
Yeah. So does the realtor that just does the sale.
But you can have some guy come out and dig. Even if your pool is 6 feet deep, you're still 7 feet. A hole in the backyard and going around utilities, electrical lines, and so there's a lot of mines out there, mm-hmm. and you need to be experienced. You need to understand the sequence and the process in which to build properly.
And a lot of people live in a neighborhood where there's a homeowners association and they fear going through that whole process. Do you do that for them? Do you take them through that process with their homeowners association? Do you kind of handle that for them, or do you give them everything and they have to go put it through?
We're a full-service company.
I love it.
Yes, because it's like, for me, we do it all the time. So
how to do it.
It makes sense for me to go and put together all the drawings, and we deal with, we've dealt with almost all of the associations throughout the greater Houston area. And so we know what their requirements are. Yeah. We know what their covenants are, and we know what they need. It's just easier for us to do that. It's the same with all the... So there's a lot of contracts that you'll see that it's your responsibility. Mm-hmm. Some builders try to make it your responsibility.
Takes a little bit of the cost out of it.
It's really not even a cost. It's just an education thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just knowing the industry, knowing your government bodies, the ones that control your neighborhood, and complying with their covenants.
Let's talk about expectations when you're building a home, because it's a big project. I mean, first you start with taking down a part of the fence, if it's fenced, to get back there, and you got to dig up. And when you dig, you don't just dig a hole. You're digging up a lot of backyard. And then, there's this pouring, and there's this whole process of waiting and letting it cure, where it's a little dangerous if you've got children, small children. You got to keep them away from that big hole, and it takes a long time to get to the finished product. Yep. So let's talk about expectations. Expectations
are huge. I recommend to anybody when you go into this process, no matter who you go with, you must sit down and ask as many questions as you can.
And you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what to ask.
The only stupid question is the one that you don't ask. So I make it a point of going through, and it's a little bit laborious, but it's really important, because I may hit on something that's it's like, well, wow, we didn't think about that. Same thing. It's interesting. You bring the fence. You bring the fence down. We have to make sure that we've got permission from the neighbours, that the neighbours understand the scope and expectations, what it's going to look like going in, what it's going to look like coming out. Will it be a little bit different? Are we using the same fence material? Are we putting new fence up? All of these things have to be covered. Expectations, once again, it's a little bit different if you built your own home as opposed to coming down and visiting with your real estate company and buying an existing home. Building a home, you're not there. So you come along and you see progress. So you don't see the things that builder has to deal with his subcontractors, contractors, even employees on a daily basis. When somebody is building your pool, we are in a fishbowl. So you open up the curtains in the morning, there we are.
They're out there working.
And so it's really, really important to have a clear understanding of the expectations, what the mess is going to look like, how many cleanups are they going to do. The other thing is yes, making sure everybody's insurance is up to date, because it is a dangerous environment.
And at the end, you've got to get releases. So all those subcontractors, everyone who's been at your house has been paid.
Correct. So, and really important, it's usually not a prerequisite. This is another one of those things that you, the consumer, get educated and go, you know what, as we move along, or we need to see, or at the close of the project, we need to see release of liens from your contractors.
And there are some things that change about the whole dynamic of your backyard when you put in a pool. So, for example, the water that came off your roof used to run a certain direction. Now the whole landscape's changed. It may run a different direction. So there's those expectations. A month after the pool's been built, you get a big heavy downpour, and you realize, I don't like the way this is working, now. And, you have to say, is that going to be another cost to come and, redo this landscaping, to fix this, to make this, put in some gutters, whatever you have to do to make it work better,
It's another great question. And because, once again, this is something that we will engineer right up front. And the other thing is, if you're working with the city, you have to engineer it. It's something that you have to do. It's their prerequisite. We'll tie in all the downspouts for the drainage. There's calculations that you have to do, and the square footage of the roof, and how much rainfall we have here in Houston, where we're going to put that water. In some cases, if you're in a 100-year floodplain, there's a possibility you may have to build detention into the lot. So there's a lot of factors. It's not just a case of go out there, dig a hole, fill it with concrete, and put water in it. There's a lot of other things, and especially as the swimming pool industry has changed over the years. We've been building pools since the 1930s. Technology has and so you'll find some of the rules haven't, but it's important. Once again, due diligence. Do your homework.
And you want a good pool where the water goes properly, because otherwise it won't get cleaned properly.
Correct.
It won't get cleaned properly. The steps will always be dirty. It has to have the right circulation. There's just so much that goes into it. So everybody can't be a pool builder. So if you need a pool, call Downunda Pools. Brett Hatfield does a great job. Great friend of the show. We appreciate you coming on today.
Thanks a lot, Shannon. I appreciate you.
How can people reach you at home if they want to get a pool put in?
They can give us a call directly, and I'd be happy to answer any questions. It's all there's no commitment. I'll give you as much information as I possibly can. Call us at 281-236-4344, or you can go to our website, which is www.downundapools.com. That's DOWNUNDAINC. Oh, I got it wrong. How about that?
Inc.com.
Downunda Pools. I'm giving you my email address.
Downundapools.com.
I didn't get my coffee this morning.
All right. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors here on Houston Real Estate Radio.
Imagine you and your family return from a tropical vacation to find that one of your pipes burst, flooding your entire house. Are you fully covered? Will you only receive $100 for your TV that cost you $2,000 just 2 years ago? Will your insurance company pay for you to live in a hotel while your home is being repaired? What if on that same trip you lose your wedding ring? Will your home insurance coverage replace that as well? All insurance policies are not created equal. If you don't know the answer to these questions, you're not alone. Most people don't understand the gaps in their coverage until it's too late. Call Goosehead Insurance today and let one of our agents review your current policy to ensure that you are fully covered. At Goosehead Insurance, we understand the power of choice. Instead of working for a single insurance company, our agents have access to over 20 A-rated carriers. This allows us to craft a policy to fit your particular lifestyle, budget, and needs. It also enables us to reshop your policy in the future, if necessary, saving you time and money. No need to look for another agent. At Goosehead, we've got you covered. Our agents will walk you through each policy decision so that you have the coverage you need. If that's not reason enough, talk to one of our happy clients. Our client satisfaction scores are 3 times the industry average. To experience the Goosehead Insurance difference, visit us online at goosehead.com or call us at 800-474-1377.